Today we're jumping straight into something pretty specific, actually. We're taking a very provocative headline and trying to turn it into something useful, a real framework you can use. The topic is senior vitality and the mission.
Ugh.
Find that genuine, low-effort way to get a big boost in well-being.
Yeah, it's quite a challenge.
The source material we're digging into, it's framed around this hook. Seniors shocked by this simple trick to feel younger. Now look, we all know that kind of language usually means, well, not much.
Right. Alarm bells often go off with headlines like that.
Exactly. But for this deep dive, we're actually taking that promise seriously, like a strict set of rules. We're looking for one single action. So it takes basically zero willpower, but so effective that the change is noticeable, maybe even shocking almost right away.
So our job here is really synthesis. We're trying to cut through all the usual noise, the complicated longevity advice that asks you to change your entire life.
Right. No radical overhauls today?
No. If the source material has any truth to it, this trick has to be right at that sweet spot. Minimal effort, maximum physiological return. It's got to bypass needing long-term habits and instead hit some fundamental thing that's often missed.
Some overlooked deficiency.
Precisely. So the framework we're using has two main filters. First, it has to be incredibly easy to start, like almost zero barrier to entry.
Okay, super simple. Got it.
And second, it must make a significant difference to your energy or well-being, and fast, within a really short time. If we can figure out what kind of action fits both those tough criteria, well, that's where the real insight might be.
Okay, let's unpack that first filter, the simplicity. Why is that the absolute core principle here, not just, a nice to have?
It really comes down to adherence. That's the foundation for any sustained vitality boost.
Makes sense.
Complex plans, they usually fail. Not because the plan itself is bad, but because people just can't stick with them. It's unsustainable. When you're looking for longevity gains, if something needs, say, 2 hours of your day or constant mental effort, it doesn't matter how effective it could be. People just quit.
So we're not after a complete lifestyle change. We're looking for something more surgical, a high-leverage action.
Exactly.
And that action, it must be fixing a problem that's super common, really fundamental, something so basic that just correcting it makes you feel way better almost immediately.
Yeah, think of it like finding the lowest hanging fruit on the tree, but realizing it's actually incredibly nutrient dense.
I like that analogy.
If we want simple and effective, we have to focus on the absolute basics. How the body moves, how the nervous system works, how our cells get fueled.
Okay.
And the source material, surprisingly, gets quite specific here. It narrows things down to 4 distinct categories where this kind of low-effort, high-impact fix is most likely to be found.
All right, let's dive into those 4 areas then. This sounds like where the real meat of the analysis is. The first one you mentioned, category a specific hydration strategy. Why specific? Isn't drink more water already a common piece of advice?
Well, yes, but drink more water is too vague to be a trick. The word specific here implies something more nuanced.
Like what?
Could be temperature, could be timing, or, and I think this is more likely, it's about mineral balance, electrolytes.
Ah, okay.
For an effect to be felt really quickly, like shockingly quickly, you need to correct an imbalance that affects things like nerve signaling or cellular energy almost instantly.
So like a chronic, maybe mild mineral imbalance?
Exactly. Think about the sodium-potassium balance, for instance. It directly impacts blood volume, cellular function, basic stuff.
Right. And just chugging plain water might not fix that specific balance issue. It might even dilute things further sometimes.
Precisely. So maybe you need specific trace minerals or electrolytes, maybe at a particular time of day, like first thing in the morning, perhaps.
When you're naturally a bit dehydrated.
Yeah. And maybe blood pressure is naturally a little lower then.
Right.
So imagine this. One single targeted action. You wake up, you mix a specific mineral blend into a glass of water. That could potentially give you a noticeable energy lift much faster than 7 days, maybe even within 72 hours.
Okay, that fits the simple and shocking criteria. Minimal effort, potentially rapid result addressing something fundamental like blood viscosity or nerve function.
It does. It hits a profound issue with almost zero effort beyond pouring that glass. Okay, now let's look at category B, a short daily stretching routine. Stretching sounds, well, pretty standard. How can that be a high-leverage trick?
I think the key words there are short and daily.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, for seniors especially, a lot of decline in vitality isn't always about massive muscle loss initially. It's often joint stiffness, reduced range of motion.
Which makes everything feel harder.
Exactly. It inhibits just casual movement. So a 10-minute, gentle, full body routine every single day. It's not about building muscle like a gym workout. It's more about, say, lubricating the joints, improving fluid dynamics in the body.
And critically, it's sending signals to the nervous system, right?
How so?
Well, if your mobility is restricted, your body might be sending subtle pain signals or just generally inhibiting movement, making you feel sluggish or cautious. A gentle, consistent routine could act like a safety signal.
Ah, telling the nervous system it's okay to move freely.
Yes, which could immediately reduce that feeling of effort and just boost your subjective sense of well-being.
Hmm.
Plus, you get that little immediate blood flow increase, maybe a small energy flush.
So consistency over intensity is the name of the game here. 7 days of simple daily movement could give a psychological lift, maybe less morning stiffness.
That one intense gym session a week just wouldn't replicate in the same way. It fits the simple and daily structure.
Okay. Now, category C is really interesting to me. A particular breathing exercise. We're talking about harnessing the autonomic nervous system itself. How can just adjusting your breathing be a shocking trick?
It's arguably one of the quickest ways to directly influence your nervous system state. It's a powerful lever we all have.
Okay.
The specific exercise likely isn't just about getting more oxygen. It's probably more about things like CO2 tolerance or stimulating the vagus nerve.
Vagus nerve. Okay, that links to the relaxation response, right?
Exactly. Many people, especially stressed or sedentary, tend to be chronic shallow chest breathers. This keeps the body in a kind of low-level fight-or-flight state, the sympathetic state.
Right, that constant low hum of stress.
Yeah. So if you implement a specific technique, maybe something like box breathing or focusing on long, slow exhalations, you can immediately signal safety to the vagus nerve.
And what does that do?
It can rapidly shift you towards the parasympathetic state, rest and digest. This can improve heart rate variability, lower feelings of anxiety. It feels like a sudden wave of calm energy and mental clarity.
And that change would be immediate.
Potentially, yes. Highly noticeable. And it requires zero equipment, almost no time commitment. It's possibly the fastest acting category on this list, hitting that shocking potential.
That makes a lot of sense. Using a fundamental function, breathing, that we usually ignore for immediate regulation. Okay, let's challenge the last one. Category D. A simple dietary adjustment. Nutrition is so complex. Can one simple adjustment really deliver a shocking result in just 7 days?
This one feels like maybe the weakest candidate if we strictly adhere to that 7-day shocking result rule.
Why is that?
Because most nutritional changes, like adding fiber or boosting vitamin D, they take weeks or even months to show their full systemic effects. You need absorption, cellular changes.
Okay, so if the source's claim of a fast, noticeable impact is credible, this dietary adjustment can't be something slow-acting.
Exactly. It would likely have to be either the removal of something that's causing an immediate negative effect or the addition of something very rapidly acting.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, imagine someone regularly has a sugary drink or dessert late at night, and it's completely wrecking their sleep quality, maybe causing blood sugar swings. Just eliminating that one thing could lead to dramatically better sleep almost overnight. And the difference in energy levels after just a few nights of good sleep can feel absolutely shocking.
Okay, so subtraction could work quickly. What about adding something?
Maybe adding something like a highly bioavailable form of magnesium, perhaps magnesium citrate. If someone has a significant deficiency, it can sometimes relieve muscle cramps or improve sleep quality very quickly, within days.
So it has to be a really targeted fix, either removing a clear blocker or adding a key cofactor that's widely deficient and acts fast.
Precisely. A surgical strike, not a nutritional overhaul.
Okay, so we've got these 4 potential high-leverage areas: specific hydration, short daily stretching, a particular breathing technique, or a very simple dietary fix. Now let's bring in that final filter you mentioned, the timeline. The source really emphasizes this with its call to action. Try this for 7 days and see the difference.
Yes, that 7-day timeline is crucial. It's not arbitrary. I think it has sort of a threefold power.
Okay, break that down.
First, like we discussed with adherence, it ensures maximum compliance. Almost anyone can convince themselves to try something new for just 7 days. It feels manageable.
Low commitment, easy to say yes to.
Okay? Second, it acts as a great psychological barrier remover. The perceived effort or risk is minimal. It's only a week.
Right, makes sense. And the third point.
This is the most telling one, I think. That 7-day window is the validation filter.
Validation filter, how so?
If the trick, the intervention, doesn't cause a genuinely noticeable shift, either physiological or maybe a profound psychological benefit by the end of that week,
Then it fails the test.
then it probably wasn't hitting a truly high leverage deficiency for that individual, and it doesn't meet the criteria of being shockingly effective quickly.
Yeah.
It fails the source's own test.
Okay, so if we weigh our 4 candidates against that strict 7-day validation filter, can we guess which one the source might implicitly favor?
We can hypothesize. The simple dietary adjustment, category D. Well, it feels risky for that 7-day deadline, as nutritional effects are often slower unless it's that very specific removal scenario we talked about.
Right, and the daily stretching, category B.
Stretching definitely provides benefits like immediate relief from stiffness, which feels good. But would most people describe the 7-day result as shocking in terms of overall systemic vitality? Maybe not. It's perhaps more subtle, cumulative.
Okay. So that leaves us with A and C, specific hydration and particular breathing.
Both of which can affect the nervous system and basic physiological function very quickly, almost instantly in some cases.
Yeah.
But if you really push for the highest return on absolutely zero physical effort,
Hmm.
where the change feels profound and internal,
Breathing, category C.
breathing, specifically nervous system regulation via breathing, seems like the strongest contender for the title of shockingly simple trick.
Why specifically?
Because the mechanism adjusting your internal state via CO2 tolerance, vagal tone can create rapid, significant changes in how energized, calm, and focused you feel. It costs nothing, requires no setup, new equipment.
And it directly targets that low-level chronic stress and energy drain that's so common today.
Exactly. It fits all the criteria. Simple, immediate potential for noticeable impact addresses a fundamental system.
Okay, that really synthesizes the framework well. It seems the research, when interpreted through these filters, points towards harnessing a fundamental autonomic function breathing as potentially the highest leverage point for rapid, noticeable results with minimal effort.
It's really about precision over just sheer volume or complexity, isn't it? Applying that precision to your body's own operating system.
And what's really striking here, I think, is that this whole methodology, this idea of finding the one simple action that gives the biggest return, it's not just about vitality.
No, it's a universal principle, really. We spent this deep dive hunting for that high-leverage trick for feeling better, and the analysis points strongly towards nervous system regulation, likely via breathing.
So thinking about what this means for you, the listener, the sources, interpreted this way, highlight the incredible power of isolating that one key action, that simple trick. Instead of trying to juggle 5 complicated new habits, maybe the lesson is that finding the one right leverage point, whether it ends up being specific hydration for you, or a breathing technique, or that simple diet tweak, is the actual key to getting dramatic, rapid improvement.
And that really leads to a final thought, doesn't it? A question that goes way beyond just health or vitality.
Go on.
If applying this kind of thinking, this 7-day filter, to something as fundamental as how you feel helps you pinpoint the single adjustment with the biggest impact, where else in your life could this apply?
Ah, interesting.
Think about other complex areas, maybe streamlining a chaotic morning routine, or tackling a huge work backlog, managing financial stress.
Right, areas where we often feel overwhelmed by multi-step plans.
Exactly. Could the real breakthrough come not from a complicated strategy, but from stopping, analyzing, and identifying that single, highest leverage, easiest to implement adjustment? The one thing you could test for just 7 days to see if it makes a real difference.
Finding that one lever.
Finding that one lever. That kind of precision might just be the real key to high-impact living across the board.